All right, everybody, what's going on? You're listening to episode 201 of the On the Gun Line podcast. Like I told y'all last episode, I'm retiring it. I am no longer doing the intro anymore because, yeah, I think the intro got, it got played out, didn't it? Y'all don't think it got played out yet?
I mean, I'm kind of new to your podcast.
That's true.
I didn't think so, but
what you think, Hunt?
Nah, man, it's something original. For instance, like this guy I look at on YouTube is the same introduction every time in all his videos. How's it going, everybody? Doubt Sedoya here.
Okay. All right. Well, with that said, gun line. Fire mission coming down, y'all. I'm your host, Lopez, and you're listening to the On the Gun Line podcast midweek memo. Today is April 19th, 2022, the year of our Lord. And with that being said, are we getting our blessing today? No blessing?
Dude, I just remembered something.
Oh, we about to remember. We talk about it in a minute.
Hold up.
What? Well, while he's doing that, let me finish my intro. You're listening to the On the Gun Line podcast, where we shoot the shit like we did in the past. We got Lee Hunt here, and we got Monica here, and we just big and back being boo blah. Anyway, so I hope everybody's doing good today. And we're just gonna kick this bitch off because we are on limited time. So we're gonna touch back onto last Friday, where we were doing a shoot the shit episode. I was shooting the shit with Lee Hunt here, right? And so what ends up happening is I had a topic that I wanted to discuss, which has to do with the nuclear family. Traditional American, mother, father, children, all under one household, and how the destruction of that has now led to being masculine, or what the perception of masculinity is now looked at as it's toxic. So now it's okay to be emasculated, and it's okay to be a sissy lala, and nobody will say nothing about that. So that's what I wanted to talk about, and we were doing pretty good with it until we went to the TikTok lives, and we were on King Virgo 82, shout out, and as we were on there, we were having a good discussion with a gentleman who has a very, I don't want to just say pro-black point of view, which there's nothing wrong with that at all. But there comes a point, I think, where not everything is colonization, man. I thought I was talking to Lance for a bit, and I was just like waiting for him to say, "Hey, colonizer." You know what I'm saying? But it's cool though. I mean, what sucks is that wasn't the topic. I mean, if it would have been the topic, I would have been glad to continue with it. Luckily, Hunt's son saved the day. We got a call that came in, and but yeah, he took it to white supremacy. So I just didn't see how they correlated. But anyway, that was last week's fiasco, and it'll be great to have that conversation with him. We were very respectful towards each other, and yeah, that was that. What do you got to say about that, Lee Hunt? Or is this thing on?
Yeah. And that was wild. Like, I'm known as a very pro-black person, but I mean, god damn, like, even I was like, yeah, I fuck with dude. He actually sent me a book to read in the mail. I've been reading that book, but it's like you said, man, like at some point, everything is not just horrible colonizers this, horrible colonizers that, man. Like, at some point,
it was Lance, bro.
Yeah,
he was the Black Lance.
Like it was like, and it just puts me in a horrible situation.
No, you know what? I don't want to put you in that spot.
No, I said it does. No, he's an associate, but it puts me in a horrible situation where it's like, because I've ran into this problem before where like I'm not pro-black enough, and I'm like, okay, like I get
that sucks too. It sucks. And Annika, I want to bring you in this as well, but I think that sucks, especially like for those that like are mixed, for example, like mixed kids, like for example, if you got little spackers out there, that's a spick and a cracker. All right. So they're not white enough to be considered like American, but they're not brown enough to be considered whatever nationality, whether it's Mexican, Salvadoran, Nicaraguan. They're never enough. You know what I'm saying? So when is enough enough? I mean, dude,
Guatemalan.
we ain't talking about them people.
Yeah, I know. Oh,
we ain't talking about them. There's
Only
a history about Guatemalans that
I only like 4 Guatemalans, and that is it. That is fucking it.
That's
Like,
by law. So I mean, I just think it's kind of fucked up. I mean, not everything has to turn into that, but I mean, anyways, that was that conversation. And for those of y'all that pushed through it and listened to it, I appreciate y'all, man. I seen the views. It's about the same amount of views as always, but if y'all made it through the whole thing, I appreciate y'all. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and continue with this topic and hopefully have a good conversation regarding it, especially because we're going to have a female point of view here. All right. And and let me know what you think of this. I mean, because all right, so the nuclear family, all right, or as it was called, the
nuclear.
Oh my God, the nuclear.
You know what? No. Not only biracial kids get into that where you're not Mexican enough, you're not white enough. Because I'm first generation. My mom's straight from Mexico, my dad's straight from Mexico, and my family's always seen me, and I'm sure that some other people in the world, not that I would ever really notice, would consider me not Mexican enough, not white enough. And even now, like, my sisters make fun of me sometimes when I speak Spanish to my mom, like, what do you say? And I'm like, look, whatever Spanglish or slang you guys going on over there, I ain't having it. Like, whatever. She knew what I meant.
Well, it's true too. I mean, like Latinos born in the States, we're never brown enough for them. We're not it's kind of like if you get a Black American to go to Africa, you ain't gonna be looked at as African, Chief. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of how we are out here too. But with that being said, so nuclear family, right? You got your father, mother, children, house, kind of like what it looked like back in the 50s, regardless of race, that's what the nuclear family was. And somewhere along the line, that I think got destroyed. And I think this is just my opinion. I always say this is my uninformed opinion. All right. I think it started with the whole feminism, feminazi bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That's where I think it came from. I see that look. She's giving me that look. Go ahead. What you want to say to me?
I mean, it goes way back, before that. It goes way back. Because I now have a different perspective of it. I like to call myself a traditional independent because I was raised obviously Mexican. My mom's raised me to be a wife, but not to ever get married. And honestly, I never thought I was going to get married. I never even thought I was going to have a kid. I really didn't want to for a long, long time. People change and evolve. But where I stand on it for me is it goes back, and I think honestly a lot of it is programming. To me, it's programming. It's like what says that has to be the norm? What says that has to be a man, a woman, child? Like why where did we get that information from? Why do we think that has to be the norm? And also, energy is fluid. You have masculine energy and you have feminine energy, but it's not gender specific. For me, that kind of energy is fluid. And I used to live in my masculine energy a lot. I would consider myself to be sometimes an alpha female. I had to, go into my masculine energy to survive, but it doesn't mean I have to stay in that masculine energy to continue being who I want to be, to get to elevate, you know what I mean? So for me, sometimes the struggle is a balance of those two energies. And anybody, again, to me, it's energy, it's fluid. A woman could have more dominant masculine energy, and that's okay. But it's hard for some people to have that balance of both.
I don't know. I guess for me, it's I guess, yeah, I mean, it's like you said, traditional. That's what I'm all about. I like the traditional way of life. The male goes to work, the female stays at home. Does that mean that she's less than him? No, not at all. It just everybody has a role to play, especially when there's children involved. There needs to be that parent at home. There needs to be that the emotional connection with that parent at home. And I don't know what Hunt was going on with Hunt over there, but I mean that's just the way I think, and ever since the downfall, and when I say about the feminist, I'm not talking about being like that there shouldn't be equality. Obviously everybody should be treated the fucking same, but that doesn't mean you're going to have all the same equal outcome. There's a difference between equal opportunity and equal outcome. Oh shit.
Well, you see, here's the problem, my brother. Here's the problem with your statement right there. When you talk about roles and all this other stuff, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
You became the educated Negro all of a sudden.
Yeah, man. Like, so, I feel you, man. Like, I understand. I think it's just that programming, if you will. Because once again, I'm all for females being in combat arms, and this is kind of going with it, right? This is kind of going with it. We have that tradition.
How did we even get into that? Now
we're talking about tradition. Yeah, we're talking about tradition, right? All so right. The tradition is only men in combat arms, right? Yep. But now we're breaking those social norms to having females in there.
And how has that been working out for the military lately?
I understand this. I understand it's a hard thing to do. Where like those certain roles where we feel like a tradition and they should be there, how they're breaking them down. I got it, man. But at some point, we do have to evolve from that.
Okay. Let's go back a little bit. Let's circle back a bit. Let's go back to the breaking down of the traditional household, father, mother, children. Right. You take the father out of there, and now you have just a mother and a child. All right. You're breaking down the traditional family. What worked.
And where'd that father go? Why did he go somewhere? Where is he?
That's the key word right there. Why? Everybody says he's a deadbeat dad. Sometimes the deadbeat dad don't want to put up with the crazy ass mom.
Sometimes the deadbeat dad is the deadbeat mom.
Yeah, facts.
Deadbeat dad is a deadbeat dad. My.
No, you're right. There's a lot of variables there. A lot of variables, right? Why is it? What happened to our grandparents or maybe your great grandparents? Because I'm older than y'all cats. But what happened to, why was it that our older generations were able to stick together and push through the adversity? And nowadays it's easy to just say, bye, motherfuckers. I'm done. I'm chucking deuces. Why is it more simple and accepted now?
Because like divorce was really shunned back then. And you got to think about it. Sometimes there was a lot of abuse going on and people were thought to just, oh, well, you married, you have to do this, you have to do that. And they did not feel comfortable getting out of those abusive relationships. Mm-hmm. And then what happened? Their kids came up seeing that and they were like, nah, fuck that shit. I'm not going to be in this abusive relationship. So you're going to tell
me that all of them were like that?
Not all of them.
Okay.
Not all, just
probably a small fraction.
Yeah.
Compared, but see, you're over that. Then we're overgeneralizing. I can give you, I'm sure there was they used to have the rule of thumb. Good rule. They should bring it back. But I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But no, I mean, what was it? I mean, look, I get it. Nowadays, you have to have a 2-income household. You have to. Absolutely. It's mandatory. If you want to have a decent shot at life, you have to. I have to work. My wife has to work. Back when I was still in the military, only I had to work, and we were cool. You know what I'm saying? We lived on post, had BAH. No, we didn't. We had that taken away. But anyways, we lived comfortably, right? But coming out here into the real world, it's a whole other beast. So
it's comfortably. Why should comfortably be enough?
Well, it depends on what your definition of what you're comfortable with is. You see what I'm saying? Like, a lot of motherfuckers think that wealth is money. All right. They just work for the money. I don't care for that. I care for comfort. As long as I'm happy inside, I'm cool with whatever I have.
So as long as you're happy inside, great. And then what about, if your spouse wasn't happy with the role?
Then you know what? She married the wrong motherfucker.
And that's why you see people getting divorced.
Okay, then they should have thought about that before they got married. Sorry, go ahead.
So back in the day, women didn't want to have as much opportunity, and Hunt was 100% correct. They were stick it out because there is no other option. And there's very, very few women in history that broke that mold, that first were talked shit about, and then were honored for breaking those molds. Like tons of people, like a lot. There's so many female out there that broke the mold, even though at the
Name
time,
3.
Oh my God, Rosie the Riveter. I mean, right now we idolize her. Frida, she was the first feminist and she broke the mold. I mean, she's one of my personal heroes, to be honest with you. I hope I have an ancestry with her. That'd be great. But I mean, because she was fearless, she wanted to break the mold. She didn't want to be just like everybody else because it's stagnant. Who says you have to be that
and that's
way?
fine. That's completely fine. What I'm saying is, why then why shun? Okay, females feel liberated. That's fine and dandy. Handle your business. But then they go and shit on people that want to be traditional. How fucked up is that?
Like I said, I'm still, like I said, independent traditional. Like I have my job, I have my business, I have my family, and I still, have those traditions where, yes, I like to, for example, and some people may not like this, but I like to serve my son's and my husband's plate first for dinner or lunch or whatever it is, get them to eat, and then I get my plate. Some people might think that's crazy and backwards, but to me, that's a tradition that makes me feel good. That helps me, makes me feel like I am taking care of my family, because it is there's little traditions like that nobody should shun anybody the way they want to live.
So being traditional is okay when you can pick and choose what you want out of the tradition.
No, it's living the way that you want to live.
Exactly. Now that I agree with.
It's crazy. We had a discussion about that too last week, where that was brought up.
Did we even get through it with the Cam Newton?
No, we spoke on it, but I think that kind of changed subjects.
Yeah, I did.
Like it was like, well, let me go ahead and revert back to the colonizers. But
right.
No, it was crazy because like well, full disclosure, I was married to a Guatemalan, and I mean she was kind of traditional, I guess. But like I was like, no, I'm gonna feed the damn Fester, but I was like, yo, I'm gonna feed the kids first. Yeah. Like,
just a little bit.
But I was always, hey, I'm gonna feed my daughters first, youngest to oldest, and then I'm gonna feed my sons, youngest to oldest. Then I'll get her. You know what I'm saying? Then I get me. But that was just my thing. You know what I mean?
Right. So here's the thing. Again, if that's what they want to do, that's fine, bro. But what I think it's led to is now these, it's more accepted. It's okay now. That's why marriages don't work a lot of the times. And I'm one of those that fucking got divorced too. I'm on my second one. You know what I'm saying? So I would have been a sergeant major in the Army if if fuck up to move up was still a thing. I had the Article 15s, the Gomar, letter of concern. Shit, I mean, I was up there, but the divorce, bad credit, I had all of it, But no, what I'm saying is it's become so normalized now. And that's what I think I have an issue with. It's become normalized. It's almost okay to fucking, it's applauded, to divorce. There should be something against it. Because when you take those vows, are they just words then? Then why even fucking get married?
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Why even get married? Like, if somebody is not happy, then it should be okay, because you shouldn't keep someone down from their happiness. But those are discussions that you have openly, and communication. That's really where it all breaks down, is the communication. And people evolve. That's what people don't remember. People evolve and change. And if your views don't end up being the same after so many years, what is wrong with separating and letting them go their separate ways and let them be happy?
Great question. And I'm glad you asked that. Like the politicians be saying,
as long as you don't say I'll circle back, I swear to God,
no, I am not Jen Psaki up in this bitch.
Let me circle back to that real quick.
I hate that fucking cunt.
Put a pin in it.
No, but what's her name? What was I gonna say? at what point, because in a marriage, in any relationship, it's give and take. There's no fucking 100%. I am so happy. I'm floating on fucking air. No, it's not fucking real. Unless you're fucking high and drunk on the goddamn time. It's not real. So the way I see it is at some point, your happiness turns into selfishness because now you just want to look after you. You know, you put you in front of I, you know, or we. That's what I meant to say.
We.
Yeah, in front of we. You know what I'm saying? So it's selfishness then. So we're applauding selfishness, and others want to say, "Oh no, it's liberal. Oh no, it's liberation. It's freedom." Okay, then you should have thought about that before you made that vow and commitment that you said you were going to make.
Now,
you see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Here's the caveat off of that. We're talking about like, so just feedback. But now we're just talking about, I think that goes to the point that people are just getting married for one, marriage sake, and two, without really knowing each other. So back in the day, other than when it was like arranged marriages, so back in the day, you know, you had those quote unquote high school sweethearts that knew each other for a few years, as it was anyway. And then they decide to get married. Like people get, especially let's look at the army. Motherfuckers get married quick as shit.
Dual military, baby, get that money.
Yeah, I know. You get that money.
And then you want to shame them for getting divorced? No, they were young, dumb, and stupid. They should have never gone married, but they did.
Don't judge me.
I tell some of my sailors, we're about to deploy. Oh, we're gonna get married. Don't fucking do it. Did they listen?
Especially,
no,
especially if she's in the same battalion, right?
I don't think they got battalions. I think they got divisions and shit like that or something in the Navy. I forget what they call them, but they got boats. They on a boat, motherfucker.
Boats and hoes. Boats and hoes.
But see, what I'm trying to get at is that somehow or another, this destruction of the fucking institution of marriage, what it used to be, now that's gone by the wayside. And now that the man has been taken out of the marriage, and most times it's the man that gets taken away because the children usually go to the mama. Then you got these kids that grow up with their mama, and they come out a little more, I don't want to say effeminate, but you know, they're more in touch with their feminine spirit, as you would say. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and that's cool if that's what you like. But you know what? In the military, there's a certain persona. There's a certain, what's the word I'm looking for here, Hunt? Help me out. There's just a certain fucking aura, all right, of what military means to me. Like when I hear, motherfucker, I ain't French. No, but okay. So for example, when I think military, I think of like, in my mind, I can close my eyes. I see fucking squared away, fucking boxed up, buff looking motherfucker, intimidating, scary looking. You know what I'm saying? Soldier. That's what I see. Now I see not so much, if that makes sense. The women look harder than the guys. You see what I'm saying?
That's because motherfuckers are walking on eggshells so they don't get fucking, because they're motherfuckers are really worried about that goddamn OER NCOER. So they're walking on eggshells to make sure nobody gets offended with shit. Do I think there's still that, you know, that aura of masculinity there? Yes. Once again, look at the 18 series. You got your 18 series, you got your
okay, so
Delta, you got CAG.
So for those that don't know, 18 series are going to be your special operations. All right, so you got your spec ops, and then you got your fucking rangers. Gotcha. I get it. You got your fucking straight out hardcore, hard charging, hua alpha male, right? That's the cream of the fucking crop right there. I don't care if he likes to take a dick in his ass or if he fucking sucks on one at night. That's his business. You know what I'm saying? That you want to transgender after your military action, handle your business. But I doubt you're gonna be like, hey girls, guess what time it is? We gotta go shoot some shit up. You know, that's not the way I don't see that happening. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, because you want to make sure somebody's actually going to be able to save your life if they need to.
Well, not just save my life. I want to make sure that, you know,
you want that persona. You want to project strength, right? So you want our enemies to see what strength apparently is.
Yeah, dude. Have you not seen the motherfucking it all starts in California. Emily has 2 mothers and blah, 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 blah. Really? That's a fucking recruiting ad? Meanwhile, jarheads are over here fucking slicing throats of dragons made out of fucking fire. You know, Russians over here showing some hardcore shit. Meanwhile, we got, it starts with Emma, whatever the fuck her cunt name is. You know, and just
like it doesn't
right from the beginning.
It's just the projection, but we all know. Let's take with the Russian situation scenario.
Okay.
It's all about projection. Like they project very, powerful shit when they have their parades and they have these empty tubes full of nothing but air. But look what Ukraine has managed to do. And they are not a near peer army compared to Russia. They're fucking them up. Yes, the Ukrainians are getting fucked up too, but they are literally picking them apart. Russia has no, their core, the NCO core is not able to have a strategic thought whatsoever.
I get that.
Like, so we're talking about projection. So fuck projection. We know what we actually have in our arsenal.
Okay. Have you seen TikTok lately?
You said TikTok?
Yeah. Have you seen that lately?
Yeah,
have
baby.
You seen some of these fucking soldiers. Would you be afraid of that?
I got to be afraid of that soldier, but as long as I got that particular soldier, but as long as everybody else can direct fire,
I mean,
know their fucking jobs.
There was a place for those types in the military. It was called.
But we did it. But we did, yeah, in the Navy. But I'm messing with you, we fucked around too. Let's be honest, we fucked around in the base too. We just didn't have TikTok, Facebook, Instagram back in the day where we could record it, but we fucked around as well.
Okay, okay, go ahead, Monica. Do you have anything to add to this?
No, I'm just saying, it's like the projection. I mean, you want us to project fear and instill fear into our enemies. I mean, that's starting to sound like fucking ISIS to me. But
fuck yeah.
You know their propaganda. You know what I mean? It's like, and again, it goes back to fuck them. Who good? Let them think we're a bunch of fucking pansies. So when they try to fuck around, who's going to come down on them?
Okay. So with that said, I'd be okay with that if half of these fucking pansy-looking motherfuckers weren't just pansies. I mean, you had, first of all, let's go back to that TikTok bitch who was crying because, oh my God, who joins the military to deploy? Really? We're going to go there. Who joins the military knowing that they might go to war? You, bitch. You're wearing the uniform. Duh. Let's go to that idiot guy in fucking Fort Hood. I watched my mouth. All right. I held it back. But anyways, let's go to this idiot in Fort Hood. All right. This motherfucker's like, I'm a conscientious objector. Really? When did you become a conscientious objector? When you got deployment orders to Iraq? Is that when you became a conscientious objector? Because we were at war when you signed that fucking contract. You see what I'm saying? So we're getting this generation of pussies in.
That has been going on for a long time. It's just being advertised and put out there now because of all the social media and how easy access we have to social media and to be putting our content out there. That's just been going on since way before they decided to, whatever it is they decided to do the military. Because I know the military now is not the same when I came into, but even when I was in, when you were in, there was girls trying to get pregnant to get out of deployment. There was girls trying to fucking kill themselves. And I was that ruthless bitch. Like, you know what? I was like, go ahead, let me see you do it. Let me see. Let's see.
And I'm okay with that.
Ruthless asshole at the time, but they get scared. I get it, but what the fuck did you think you were going to do? But they didn't, project it out into the social medias for millions of people to see because we didn't have that kind of access at the time.
Do you think you would have done that into social media?
Hell no.
Would you have done that, Hunt? Would you have put yourself in social media like that, Hunt?
Nah, listen, I was scared as fuck, but so I wouldn't put myself out there like that.
What is it about this new generation that is okay with it?
It's definitely evolution as far as, and I don't see anything wrong with it because I definitely think you should be in touch with your feelings.
There's nothing wrong with being in touch with your feelings at all. There's nothing wrong with it, but there's a place.
There is a place in time. You're correct. And I don't think those boundaries aren't there anymore. They're just not. Because once you when you talk about boundaries, then you just kind of go boundaries about fucking everything. Everybody's going to think you should have boundary for this, boundary for that, boundary for this. And then then we're just right back into, segregation and shit like that. So it's like, it's a really fine slope, but it's just people not being able to know how to process their shit, not really thinking about, oh, I joined the military, I'm going to go to war. Some people just choose it because that's the only option they have, and then say, oh, fuck, what am I going to do now?
They should have fucking thought twice.
Media.
Man, there's nothing wrong with the fear. Okay, she is scared. She was a young E3. I was scared too.
I'm not saying I wasn't scared.
But I think that people are comfortable putting that shit, like you said, they're just comfortable putting it on social media, man. Social media is a presence that we have to deal with now. Now, what needs to happen? We're worried about the young soldiers, but what we need are those hardcore old people that are like, listen, okay, it's okay to be scared. I'm gonna train you up. I'm gonna make you get through this. I got it. She's financed or whatever, but still, there still needs to be them
first. I don't give a fuck if you're a goddamn cook.
Yeah, but they can still be scared, but they need that leadership to reassure them that, listen, you're going to fall back on your training. We're going to pull together and we're going to make this fucking mission happen.
Yep.
And everybody's a rifleman.
What type of person is the one that's putting that motivation, that purpose in that person?
Oh, that's a motherfucking Staff Sergeant Hunt, baby.
That's Staff Sergeant Lopez. But no, what I'm saying is it's not going to be somebody up there being like, it's okay to be in touch with your feelings. Okay. It's just a small little war that we got to go to. It's going to be all right. No, I ain't trying to hear that shit, you know? And look, those guys are going to become leaders eventually.
Exactly. So who are their leaders now? And who were their leaders? And who were their leaders? Like something's being missed in that chain if they're not getting that confidence.
Well, because leaders like myself and Hunt would be called toxic nowadays. We would be toxic. That's what they would consider us.
But here's the thing too, right? As far as like what Monica was saying, like it's been around for years. And when she said that, it made me think of Hacksaw Ridge. Dude was a conscientious objector, but he still went. You know what I'm saying? It was World War II. Like everybody was going to that bitch. You know what I'm saying? But he was like, nah, fuck that. Yeah, but he was still a conscientious objector.
Right.
And he didn't want to go, but he wound up saving people's lives and shit.
How many motherfuckers that got drafted wanted to go?
There are a lot of them were probably conscientious objectors, but once again, back then the social media wasn't a thing for people to voice their outrage. So it's been around for years.
Here's the thing: even if social media was a thing, the generation back then wouldn't have fucking done what this fucking generation is doing now. Of just
you don't know that. You don't.
Well,
that's assuming that's what is.
Okay.
But you don't know.
Here's what I did with a video camera. You know what my generation did with video cameras? We mooned it. We fucking made stupid fucking videos and mooned the camera. That's what we did.
Well, with generations, right? Generations need to change. So we're talking about like those people in those generations years and years ago. If we still had that mentality, there would be a separate fucking, I might be the next Harlem Hellfighters. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If we talk about like the generation and all this shit, that and the third, I literally could have been in the scenario where there was me and other people, and we were shipped off to fucking northern Iraq because the regular army didn't want to deal with us and shit. So there is a thing to change somewhat, but we still need to maintain some, not just this over masculine projection of hardness, but still a level of hardness. You know what I mean?
When it's called bearing, it's not even hardness. It's just bearing. Where does the bearing go? Which is, bearing is bearing. It doesn't. That's as long as you keep your bearing. Doesn't matter if you're a pansy. Doesn't matter if you're a girl. Doesn't matter if you're a guy. If you're trans. If you're gay. Don't matter. Bearing is bearing. But when you're on your off time, you don't need to worry about bearing. It's when you're in the thick of it. When you're in the action, that's when you fucking keep your bearing.
Speaking of trans,
into the thick of it.
Speaking of trans, y'all. Only in the United States of fucked up American can this happen.
Or in a great America.
America is great, but it's going through a fucked up situation right now.
It's evolving.
Yeah, it's evolved to the point where a man can say he's a woman and be a lesbian. Let that sink in.
There's limits to that for me. So,
huh?
There's definitely limits to that for me.
Uh-huh. So, yeah, that's the state we're at. Hey, we got 1 minute before this dies out. What's up?
I was gonna tell you, yeah, before you started that, we only had a minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and close this one out, resend out the fucking the link, and we're gonna talk about the trans inmate who knocked up 2 female motherfucking inmates.
Well played, guy.
It's coming down, baby. Only on the midweek memo. See y'all in a minute. All right, Gunline, and we're back. We're just waiting for our hosts, our co-hosts to get back on. That's going to be Monica and Hunt. While they're coming back on here, hey, I just want you to go ahead and check out this 105 round. I always pimp this bitch out. I always show it out because I think that if you're an artilleryman, know an artilleryman, or have anything to do with the fucking military or artillery, this would be something that you would want to fucking give your loved one if they were in the artillery, are in the artillery, or in any way connected with the field artillery. This is one of the best fucking gifts I've ever received. And I guarantee you that anybody that receives one of these will be extremely happy to get it. So go on and go check out Red Leg Custom Woodworks at redlegcustomwoodworks.com and check out his merch, man. He has a lot of great stuff. He's really great at his craft of woodworking. So with that being said, back to the show. All right. And I think Monica's now coming back on, man.
Word. Yes, and check him out on TikTok, Instagram, the Facebook.
Uh-oh. Did we offend her? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Bro, I hope I didn't get under her skin. All right, sorry for the silence.
Yeah, it's just a moment of silence.
Damn.
Coachella.
Hmm?
Coachella. I want to go to Coachella.
You want to go to Coachella?
Yeah, big music festival.
Oh yeah, I heard of that shit. Ain't that where all the hippies be going or something like that?
Yeah, man. That's my
Or is that
ground.
Burning Man?
No, it might be Burning Man.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
It's all Chinese to me, so dude. But so what I'm trying to get at before she comes back on, what I'm trying to get at is I think that the point where it's okay. I'm not saying women shouldn't go to work if they want to go to work, handle it. But I think that with that came also it set a course for not having that one parent at home. And when you don't have that one parent at home, I think it affects the children, and especially when they're raised by a female, they don't have a male role model. You know what I'm saying?
What if it's the woman that works and the dad that stays home?
And I'm okay with that too, as long as somebody is there. Like I said, I get it. We evolve, right? We evolve. Like I'm telling you, I told you I was going to retire in August. I was going to fucking retire like Dunzo. But they fucking dangled that pickle over my carrot,
Yeah.
Look
at that feminine energy coming out of you right now, guys.
Speaking about pickles, what do y'all think about that trans, yo?
No. What are you thinking about pickles? Don't change the subject now. Dangling pickles over you. Man, wait till I tell Kay. Hey, Kay, this motherfucker thinking about pickles being dangled over.
I could already hear him. Hey, it's not gay if I think about it, only if I act on it.
Goddamn. Right? Yeah, I feel you, man. Goddamn pickles dangling over you.
You gonna tell me you ain't never one time, been wiping your butt and kind of put a finger in there? See,
no, man.
Feel good?
What the fuck I look like? What's the name? Who's that?
You never even tried the pinky finger just to see if it'll fit?
Oh, who the fuck? Well, yeah, what the fuck I look like? Lawrence Tyrell to you?
Who?
Sorry.
Lawrence Tyrell.
Come back. I'm so sorry.
All right. I thought that we had offended you and you were gone.
No.
I'm like, damn.
I have a guest over, and I was like, I have to go. I'll be right back.
I'm sorry. I mean, we don't mean to keep you if you. Oh, okay. So back to the question before we went off. Regarding,
you were saying something about when the male. Okay, so there's also examples. I kind of caught a little bit of your last conversation. There are examples when the provider, the father or the mother, goes and be's the provider, right? You're on deployment, you're getting money, providing for a family, but then the mother is at home, stay-at-home wife, mother, whatever you want to call it, but then they don't pick up the slack. They just don't. They're just.
What do you mean? Repeat that again.
Fucking thumbs, you know what I mean? It's like, so just because there is a mom at home doesn't mean that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, raising a child. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just sitting there twiddling their thumbs, not doing what the fuck they're supposed to be doing. I'm sorry. Like if you're gonna be at home and be a stay-at-home parent, then pick up the slack for both parents and do what you're supposed to do.
100%. And that's why I love when Kevin Samuels talks about. Is it Kevin Samuels Hunt? Is that my boy? Or Samuel Kevin? What's his name? Huh?
Kevin Samuels, that toxic piece of shit. Say Kevin Samuels, that toxic piece of shit.
Oh, okay, just making sure, because it's true. Like the point that he makes is that all these women want to have that fucking glorious lifestyle of being a stay-at-home mom, and but they want to have a maid, they want to have a cook, they want to have a babysitter. So, bitch, what am I paying you for? To be a fucking DNA sample, a host for a parasite? You know what I'm saying? So.
That's more work than. That's why no, absolutely not. One, it's not in my blood to be a stay-at-home mom. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't. It's not for me because I'd rather work. I'd rather be part of the provider because, like you said, there's nowadays you need 2 providers in the home.
Exactly.
But it's like, but if you are going to choose that lifestyle, or then do it. Do it properly. Raise a proper human.
See, I think the problem is too that back in the day. Okay, first of all, they've made, I think it's been made to look like being a stay-at-home mother or a stay-at-home parent is something of like, that's all you could do with your life. You know what I mean? It's kind of like how people look at the military. Oh, you joined the military because you were, you couldn't go to school. You couldn't do more with your life. No, bitch, I wanted to be in the military. That's why I joined. Okay, why is this person a stay-at-home parent? Because they grew up traditionally, and traditionally the mother actually has a lot more work to do because that work never fucking ends. We talked about this last week. It's a 24-hour fucking job, especially back in the day when it wasn't, it was the whole house and the milking the motherfucking cows and, getting the food ready. You got to go get that chicken.
Days.
Yeah, dude, these motherfuckers did not just go into fucking HEB and get a or Publix where you live. They didn't go to fuck and grab a goddamn a piece of chicken out the fucking, from the meat section. They went to the fucking backyard, grabbed the fucking chicken, choked the bitch and shook it around, plucked it, chopped the head off. It was real work. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, I need to stop doing that because I'm gonna end up fucking up my quadricep, kind of like Hunt did recently.
No, your quadricep is not on your shoulder.
What did you fuck up?
No, I did that. That was true. No, I did fuck up my right quadricep. I already tore my left one about 5 years ago to the day. And I got tore my right one Saturday. I was racing kids, man. I was at Gonzo's house and I was like racing kids. And I was like, yo, fuck these kids. I'm not going to let them beat me. And I was like, took off running. And on the way back, I was like, step, boom, that bitch popped. I mean, I still crossed the finish line, but like I was done after that.
In pain. But, so back to America before the fucking my low budget fucking video went off. Yeah, what do you think about that? I mean, this person says they're a woman, goes to get locked up with women, still has a schlong, and knocks up 2 inmates.
I don't know how to let that happen. I don't know how the CEOs let that shit happen. You're knocking them up or whatever.
Yeah.
No, I don't know how that happened. I mean, like, I don't know, man. Listen, dudes are fucking dudes in prison anyway. Dudes are fucking the female CEOs. Female CEOs are fucking the dudes. Yeah. Like the female CEOs are fucking the females in there. Like,
okay. Another word. When do we put a fucking stop to it, Hunt? I mean, it's not bad enough that we got that one fucking dude that's beating the shit out of the females in fucking college and swimming.
Thank you. Yes, I still if you want to be a woman, fine. Do the hormones. Do whatever you got to do. Be a woman. But when it comes to sports, no matter how many hormones you take, your anatomy, your muscle mass, your bone mass is going to be the same. It doesn't matter how many hormones you take. Doesn't matter how many surgeries. If you had a surgery, okay, then maybe you should go ahead and get in prison with women, whatever. But
yeah,
when it comes to sports, your anatomy and your muscle mass and bone density is male. That's your DNA, that's your anatomy, and you are going to be stronger than a female.
But here's the thing, you can't say that nowadays because you're a homophobe or a transphobe for saying anything like that, because you have to accept them.
And you can accept them all you want. I accept them. I love everyone, obviously within legal limits. People
She's like, don't send me to Epstein Island here now.
Yeah.
That people do that, it's illegal, that I do not, absolutely will not, and I would, kill somebody for. But when it comes to things like that, it's not. Yes, women can train as hard as a man. Absolutely. I've seen women lift more than men, sure. But when it comes to competing and like the Olympics and like competitive sports and professional shit, it's like they have more testosterone. You know what I mean?
Monica, but my question is, how did we get here? Huh?
Well, there's nothing like it goes back to what Monica said before, man. It's an evolution. Now,
there you go.
This is the thing, right? Do I agree with it? No, I don't either. And I'm super about, hey man, women's rights, I'm all for that, right? But I still don't agree with, transgenders. No, because like I said, I don't agree.
You sound like I'm anti-woman over here.
No. Like I personally don't believe neither that transgenders need to be in female sports. I think everybody wants a certain level of equality now.
But then complains about it when it doesn't go their way.
Yeah, and that's the thing though. Like we want it, everybody wants to be equal, this, that, and the third. And I got it. But some things still just no, man. Like you can't do that. You have literally an advantage for that shit. And it goes back to, like I was saying, with the military, we have a male and female standard for a fucking reason. You know what I'm saying? So why is it that we still can't have the male female sports?
Since you wanted to bring this in, they're the military and the same. Wasn't there supposed to be a fucking physical test, a fitness test that was supposed to fucking level the playing field for both male and female?
Yes.
And what ended up happening to that?
Physical test. Yeah, the Army combat physical test. They wound up scrapping it.
Yeah. Why was it scrapped?
Because they there's different rumors, but they did wind up having the male and female standard again. They had male time,
and it was because a majority of the females kept failing the fucking test.
Yeah,
I say it. It might make motherfuckers uncomfortable. I'm gonna say it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I love this podcast, because
exactly. That's what I was gonna say.
What's that?
Comb in your hand, guy.
What do you need that comb for?
That's his blanket. That's his safe blanket.
This is my comfort blanket. Okay. This is my my whoopee. Look, for those of y'all that are listening only and not watching, I got my daughter's purple comb here that she uses to comb her diverse baby that she has, baby doll.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, but no, yeah, motherfuckers.
Oh, and the other thing that I do want to like kind of, and you said, how did it start? Okay, so if we all want equality, we all want, I think everybody should have the right to do what they want.
Whatever you want
within legal limits. I will say within legal limits, but you also got to think the people who is making these laws, who is creating all of this drama per se, and all these laws, like who's approving them, who's putting them into effect. You know what I mean? It's like it's also part again of the elite deep state plans to keep people in diversity, to keep people arguing, to keep people in fear, to, you know what I mean? It's like, so when you look at it, who's passing these bills, who is bringing them up, yada, 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 who's creating the drama or whatnot.
Well, not only that, Monica, but who keeps falling for the same shit over and over and over? We do. You know why?
Because we're fucking humans and we're dumb.
We fixed the black and the fucking white issue, right? Always the black, white. That shit started getting better. Oh, we got to fucking find something now to fight about. There, we can't have these Negroes and white people together. So
there has to be something for the masses to fight about, because that's how you're going to keep them controlled.
Look, how many trans people or gay people are there in the U.S.? What's the fucking percentage?
I don't know. Somebody Google it.
Now that's what Urena would do.
Yeah,
that's Urena. He would be the Google god. But what I'm saying is, we're making all these fucking. Look, I live and let live. All right. You want to live a certain way, handle your business. The moment you start affecting my household, though, and telling me how I need to think or what I need to think, motherfucker, this is not 1984. This is not Brave New World. You might want to head there. You want to be Fahrenheit 451, but it's not in my motherfucking house. You know what I'm saying? I teach my kids how I teach my kids. When I was in fucking 6th grade, I wasn't worried about gayness and genders and all that shit. I was worried about playing tag. I was playing about freeze tag. You know what I'm saying? But when I got my kids coming over here asking me, how do I feel about this and that and this? And I give them a look like, that's not something we need to talk about. They start telling me like, oh, I can tell by that look, you don't like it. And then I have to explain myself to my fucking kids. You know, why am I explaining this to a fucking 12-year-old?
Exactly.
She was 10 when she started talking to me.
Their brains aren't developed enough to be able to go either way. Stop trying to program them. Stop trying to. No.
In your state, they tried already.
Oh, I know. Believe me, I was like, again, I am all for people's rights, doing whatever, living the way you want to live within legal limits. I am always going to say that within legal limits.
But see, within legal limits, even has its own. It could be. It's not something. I mean, within legal limits, you used to be able to own people.
Well,
within legal limits.
When I think of legal limits, I'm talking about like pedophilia. That's what I'm always talking
about. Yeah.
There's some people that don't understand that, you know what I mean? That boundary.
We're all we are all in agreement here that they should die.
Like, exactly. And kids don't have any, especially ages, 5? I don't even remember the grades here in Florida.
They want it from kindergarten through 3rd grade.
No, there's no reason for it. None. They're babies. They're kids. Let them be fucking kids. That shit, as long as the parents are open to it and accepting when they get older, when they're in the right mental state, because they're still being developed, then okay, accept them for who they are and love them how they are. When they get to that age where they can comprehend it, when they can, process it. You're just trying to fucking manipulate our children and program them to say, oh, I don't know if I'm a woman, if I'm a girl, because that's how you can fucking control them. I mean, look at the rappers. How many rappers supposedly they have to be demasculated and completely humiliated and turned feminine or whatever to be able to get into those elite status? Why?
Go ahead, Hunt.
Yeah, it's crazy that you put it like that, Monica, because I don't think that there's people, they just get mad about, oh, well, they have the right to learn this, that, and the third, right? But couple decades ago, I remember there were a couple of parents that got in trouble because they were teaching their young kids about, Nazism and racism and all this other shit, right? It was a huge thing about it. These parents got in trouble for the shit. They one of them named their son Adolf and all this other shit, right? And they got in trouble for that shit. And it's like, okay, so we're going to acknowledge the fact that it's wrong to teach young kids about, to be racist and all this other third shit. But, we're kind of like forcing the sexuality shit on them. So it's an interesting point, man. They called it like, they said those parents were being dangerous to the kids with that shit. But it's like,
this is even more dangerous. Were you crazy? All those predators out there. Like,
how about not only that? How about the fact that they're allowing these fucking kids here to try to they're not only letting them say, "Oh, call me Susie," even though my name is Randy, but then they're fucking supporting it and dressing them up that way. Like, at what point are you be a fucking parent and be like, "Look, no, you're Randy, you're a boy. You're fucking 3, 5. I'm not going to support this shit. Okay." And not only that, now they're talking about, like, I've heard arguments where they want to allow the kids to start even starting their little change into the transition. Dude, are you fucking serious? They can't even wipe their own asses right.
There's the difference between dress up, which, kids go through trends like crazy. My son went through a Sonic, a Godzilla, King Kong within one, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like, okay, fine, cool. I'll let you do your little trend. I have no issue if you ever wanted to play with a doll, if you ever want to dress whatever the way you want to dress, cool. But when it comes to your undeveloped mind and body, like, you're not even done growing. Like, your bones aren't even done growing. Like, your teeth aren't even coming out of your mouth. Your permanent teeth aren't even in your mouth yet. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, No, let them figure themselves out. And then if they're still within this trend or whatever it is, fine, cool, I'll love you, I'll support you. But that's when you're in that proper mindset where you can make up your own fucking mind and stick to it. This is a permanent change. It's like, no, let them, sure, dress up, whatever. I don't give a shit. If that's what you want to do, in a week from now, you're probably not going to do it anyway. So,
his mama call him Cassius, I'm gonna call him Cassius.
Look, here's what I give a shit about. Let's say, for example, my daughter's pretty much a tomboy.
Yeah.
All right.
And you know what? Tomboys have been around for years. Nobody ever gave a shit about that. I was a tomboy.
The problem is now that tomboys, they're saying that they're mask women, or that they're trans but they're masculine women or something. Like, no, they were tomboys. They're just tomboys. My friend put it the best way. He's like, dude, they're just lugs. I'm like, what the fuck is a lug? He's like, lesbians until graduation, and then once they're done with high school, they go back. But no, like, I guess the problem I would have,
I'm fucking weak,
is fucking the problem. I'm pretty sure you know who said that. Yeah, it's our friend. But so here's the thing. My son wants, if he comes to me and says, Dad, I want to wear a dress to school today, you think I'm going to say, yeah, go right ahead? You must be out your goddamn mind. You must be out your motherfucking mind. No, but yet, if I
support him when he was an adult, if he wanted to be a certain lifestyle,
when he's an adult, he can do what the fuck he wants. But at the age of 7, no. But yet, if I see another parent with a fucking little boy that's dressed like a girl, and you want me to refer to that as a girl, I'm not going to do that.
I mean, at some point,
shame it, but I'm not going to I'm not going to praise it either.
It's a person. Don't say he's a person.
It's not human. We go through trends. We could barely even handle our emotions, our own hormones. As adults, we could barely handle how
you could put whatever trend you want out there. Ain't never been a trend of a man dressing up like a woman. I'll wait. I'm talking about in a dress, feminine, straight woman. Tell me when that trend happened. And don't tell me 1 or 2 people that did it.
Go look at red carpets every single year. They're getting
man, they're doing that. It's a lot of
So again, and that goes back to my whole feminization and making emasculation a norm. It all ties back in.
Yeah, it's all for control. I mean, like I said, it's all part of the deep state plan trying to keep people in control. And
what do they want control of?
The masses.
The minds. If our minds are all scattered, we can't all be woke, and we can't shift.
Shift into what?
Like, once again, like we talked about, like vibrations, man. Like, I really think that they use vibrations to move all them concrete slabs with the pyramids. Like, there's no other explanation. Like, but we
so when we say like move into a higher consciousness, we call it, like, I've heard of it, higher consciousness, new earth, the 5D earth, every other planet, almost every other planet out there is in that higher vibrational, different density, 5D type thing. And it's only natural for the earth itself, not just the people, earth itself wanting to evolve to that higher state. It's tired of being in this low vibration. So it starts with earth. If you look at something called the Schumann Resonance, it's actually the energy that the earth is giving out. And it's gotten higher and higher and higher because the earth itself wants to shift into that higher density. Hence why there's so much chaos, because people don't understand what those energies are. They don't understand these higher frequencies, and it does get maddening. And when those people in control want to keep us in those lower vibrations and that lower density to keep us controlled for whatever their little reasons are, the earth wants to do it. Like, it just wants to evolve just like anything else. It doesn't want to stay in the same place forever. It's just not natural.
But so I guess my question to that would be, like, if that's the case, then why do we continue? I mean,
for a better life for I know, at least personally, and I'm not going to speak for myself, and I know there's some people that may feel this way and some people that don't. I keep doing the work that I keep doing, and the awareness want to hopefully some stuff resonates with other people and they start remembering who they were, and maybe start living life not only for yourself but for the next generation. I mean, look at everything that our parents and our grandparents and have sacrificed. In my head, my parents and my grandparents did the physical work. Now I'm here to do the, you could say the spiritual work, you could say the mental work, you know what I mean? And that includes teaching my son and how to be able to process his karmic baggage, and take away some of his karmic baggage, you know what I mean? Like, do you have generations of curses or like, habits and shit that we want to break to be able to allow, or at least I want my son not to have to deal. He's gonna have his own fucking karma to deal with, his own baggage, you know what I mean? So why should I leave my shit onto him like my family did to me in the past? And that way they can have a better life in the future.
No, man, that's 100%, man. Definitely we need to lighten the load for the next ones. We need to do everything we can to lighten the load. And I don't think that just because we're lightening the load that we're going to take away from raising them to be productive members of society, just because we are trying to lighten the load for them. I still think that we're still going to teach them values, morals, but we're still not wanting them to struggle or have these hardships that, we've had to go through.
Question.
Answer.
When we say these values and these morals, which values, which morals are we talking about? Because it seems that throughout our history, that keeps changing.
Oh, well, we're talking about the pre-colonialization values, brother. That's what we're talking about. Like, you got to get out of this mindset.
So, speaking of mindsets, man, good segue to this following one. So I was in my fields yesterday or 2 days ago. I got into my feels like really bad. And
did you write it down?
I did, actually.
Nice. Yeah.
So I'm gonna read to you all what I wrote. All right. And if anybody out there is listening and can relate to this, no, you ain't alone. All right.
Aww.
Okay,
and just know that this is not meant to talk shit about anyone that I name in here. It's just what was in my head. It's just what I felt at the moment I was outside. So
you're processing. That's
did you just say felt? Oh my God, you're making breakthroughs.
Well, no, because I felt. This is an actual emotion.
Feelings or emotions?
Yeah, but when you say I feel that other people should do this, how are you feeling that?
Because there's something inside of you.
No, don't work that way.
You know what I'm saying?
But so this was me in my feels a few days ago.
Lings.
Feeling alone in your own home, wanting to talk, but don't have anything to talk about. I want to do things. Then just as suddenly, I want to lay in bed. Why do I feel this way? Like I'm just literally existing simply to exist. As if I'm only counting down the days till existence ceases. What's my purpose? To provide. Then what? I try to find enjoyment in my home, but there's none. My wife is always playing a game on her phone or listening to a podcast. My oldest is playing some computer game. My middle child on YouTube. And my son, well, he's mentally slow. Not slow per se. I don't want to say like challenged. He's just different. All right. And he can flip from happy to pissed in a heartbeat. I guess I'll continue to do my duty as a provider, but I want to be more. I want to feel the love of family, not just live together as one. So that was in my feels. And
that is so amazing. Thank you.
That is me in my feelings. And I fucking hated it.
Why?
Why?
So it was better for you to get that out. I guarantee you felt better after you wrote it.
No,
sometimes it's okay to express things, man. Like I got the machismo aspect. I'm not Latin, or did I say that right?
That's another program.
I'm not Latin either, bro. I'm mestizo.
I'm not mestizo. You know what I'm saying? But I understand the whole machismo culture, man. But there's nothing wrong with being like, yo, man, even though I'm a man, I'm allowed to be like, yo, I don't like this. Like, this isn't right. No, well, not saying it's not right, but be like, I don't like this. I can have a voice and feelings about things as well.
No, I don't mean that I hate expressing it. I hate the fact that I feel that way. That's the problem. I hate when I get into those fucking lows. You know what I mean?
But you have to feel them and talk about them and express them some kind of way, even if you don't feel like sharing, which I'm so happy that you did. And I'm so proud. I'm like, I barely know you, but I'm so proud of you because I could tell that was hard. But that's amazing because like, you get it out. Don't let it fester, get it out. And then once you get it out, maybe you kind of get the wheels turning. It's like, what can I do? What can be done? Why not talk about it with your wife? It's like, hey, how about come up with a plan? Don't look at me that way. Communication, like, and let me tell you, if there's no communication, people do grow apart, and it sucks, and it's worse because you're wasting your time and you're not being happy.
Like I said, this is my second one, man. It's been what, 14 years now?
Communication, like,
bro, hey, I was one and done, son. Like, one and done.
No, I mean, no, it's just the fact that, you know, sometimes I get into those feels. And honestly, sometimes I want to podcast when I'm in those feels because, you know, I hope that maybe
this is your podcast. You can do it. You do that. You can do anything you want with it. Why not? And I guarantee this is going to help somebody because there's so many people out there ask the same thing. Why? What's the point? I don't understand. And you know what? That for you to be realizing it and letting it out there, it's called evolving. You know, there's something more out there. There's more. There's more to life. There's more to everything. And
there is.
Keep going. It's only gonna get better. People don't understand that you have to do the shadow work, and it's called shadow work. I'll send you a PDF on it because I suck at explaining it, but it's getting into those feels. Why do you feel this way? Where does it come from? Where does the trauma, originate from? And just working through it. It sucks balls, let me tell you. But at the end of it, you feel lighter. You feel so much better, and you see the world a little bit differently. And then you start realizing there was more. There is more. I'm going to go do more.
Well,
how many times have like chiefs got together? You had that one chief, you had that one battle buddy, even as soldiers, right? Mm-hmm. So you're deployed and you have that one battle buddy that you literally talk to them about things like this.
Right.
So like Monica was saying, man, yeah, it's going to help. And not to take over your shit, man. Yes, we do talk shit. We joke a lot on the gun line, but there's still serious times that we have when we need to pull one of our closest battle buddies aside and just kind of vent and let shit out. Right.
No, and that's 100% why this podcast is continued. As I've told many people, this all started as I was supposed to be a co-host for one of my old section chiefs, and life happened, and I had to keep on going with this. And I enjoy doing this. And, there's times where, I'll say some chauvinistic shit and I'll say some controversial shit, but there's also times where I get real with motherfuckers, but that's just how I am. That's what I miss. And that's why I call this show what it is, because that's how it was for us. Hunt could attest to this. He could attest to this, that like on the gun line, in each different fucking section, there's different conversations going on. And I'm sure in the Navy, you guys had something that was similar to it, where everybody just congregated and, you and your group of folks just fucking hung out, and just shot the shit. No fucking feelings were hurt. And, everybody was real with everybody. I mean, shit. That's one thing I miss out in the civilian sector. I don't have that. I have this. This is my only fucking tether that I have to that life, to that time. And because finding it out here, I couldn't have this conversation with people I don't know, because they don't, especially if they've never been in the military, because it's almost a sign of weakness, to the civilian sector. And
because of that bullshit mentality, about the whole traditional nuclear family where somebody has to be strong. That's why.
So
that's why you have to have
we're circling back. We're circling back like Jen Psaki.
Yeah, and that's why you have to have that balance. You being able to express that's definitely feminine energy, and that's
not feminine energy. That's me being a man.
I'm just saying, like, that's where that
it takes balls. to come out like
yes,
that.
it does. But it's a
I'm playing
balance
with you.
between those two. Like it really, really is. It's a balance between that energy and you being able to express yourself. And it's programmed into you guys, women sometimes too, that it's weak to be emotional. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Time and place. Time and place. Let me ask you something, Monica. And just be real. Be real, okay? I want you to answer this. You and your old man are walking down the street. Some motherfucker comes up, pulls out a gat, points it at the motherfucker's head. Give me all your shit right now, or I'm gonna fucking blow you away.
You'll fuck them up in a heartbeat. There's no doubt.
Hold on. You're like, fuck, this has got a gun. Just give him the fucking money. You know, let's get out of here. Hold on,
really
stand
think
by.
I would say that?
Stand by. Stand by. Your husband starts crying. It's like, no, please don't do nothing. Leave us alone. And it breaks down in front of you. What do you think afterwards?
Are you okay?
It better be a distraction, so that way, like the magicians do, sleight of hand. That way, I'm like, oh my god, and then all of a sudden, she's reaching in my back pocket, and pulling out the strap that's in the back, and like, I got
sure
you,
she probably already has her concealed carry with her at the time, blowing that motherfucker away.
Yeah.
But no, what I'm getting at, you're gonna tell me you wouldn't lose a little bit of respect, like.
No, not if it's somebody that I absolutely love. I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. I'd be like, are you okay? Fuck, I'm glad we're okay. At that moment, if your life flashes before your eyes, is that really what you're going to think of? Or are you going to think of, holy fuck, we're alive?
First of all, I'm going to be thinking like, fuck, hey, let my old lady go. You going to do something to me?
Well, okay, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, one, I wouldn't react that way. And two, he wouldn't react that way.
Okay, I'm not saying I'm not saying how would you react in reality. I'm just saying if he did.
The hypothetical, I would be happy that we are both alive if this is somebody that I truly love.
That's a hypothetical that we would still be.
Oh, don't let him.
You would think that he was a wuss, is what you're saying.
No, I really, really wouldn't. I would be thinking, I'm glad we are alive.
And then afterwards, you wouldn't. After that, after that, all that goes away. You're not gonna be sitting sulking in the tub, be like, "Motherfucker's a straight fucking pussy, yo. How the fuck did I have more balls than him?"
That's that mentality with the whole machismo. It goes back to that shit. Like I understand what you're saying. Personally, me, like I hope I don't freeze, but then again, I don't know what's gonna happen in that situation. Have I pulled the trigger on some people in a situation? We're talking about war and everything. Yeah. So I think I would be comfortable doing the same thing here in the States. Now, I don't know. Maybe it's 4 or 5 people that pull up with guns. Like, oh shit, what am I going to do?
I'm just saying, if you break down in front of your old lady like that.
I can 100% without flinching or second guessing would not look at you and be like, man, you're a fucking pussy. No, absolutely not. I really
sure as hell think it.
If this is my husband and this is somebody I love, and you know what I mean, this is who I truly love unconditionally. No, I would never think that.
Somebody needs to save her. We need to get all the Thundercats. We need to get the Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know, man. We got to get the fucking Bat Family because a lot of women don't think like that. So
for real,
we need to get like 24-hour protection from the Justice League.
No, dude, I'm dead serious. I've really enjoyed this conversation today. It's damn, I got so comfortable. I let my guard down, which I've done before. It's not the first time that I've let people into that side of me. You know what I mean?
Pause.
I am I am human. What you say for?
You said you'd let people inside of you, so I was like, pause. Yeah.
Don't ask.
But now listen, man.
It's been repealed.
I always call you up anyway, man. You know I'm quick to FaceTime you about some shit that goes on, especially like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, yo, man, I gotta talk to you about this shit. So it's the same, man.
Here's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with fucking having emotions. It's just a time and place, bro. It's a time and place, you know. And you can't just be a weak little bitch all the time and show it off. And it's not
sometimes
cool, but it's okay to. But see, here's the whole point that I was trying to make out of this whole conversation of everything. Why is it okay for now? Why is it okay now to be a baby back bitch, and we fucking glorify it?
bro.
Twice. But yet,
twice I broke down in formation.
Hold on. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about motherfuckers dressed like fucking females, acting like fucking females, getting their hands and nails done, and still thinking, don't. No, Look, there's only one man that was allowed to do that shit, and he dead.
Prince?
Yes. All right. And he dead. So, anyways, with that being said, I got 2 minutes left, y'all. I'll give y'all some time. What y'all want to say? Bueller?
Yeah, Bueller.
Monica, lay it on me. What you got to say to me?
No, it's just like I don't see anything wrong with it, but there is a time and place. Is there something that you're supposed to be handling? Like if you're in the military and you're supposed to be in the thick of it, then goddamn it, be in the thick of it. And then afterwards, cry your fucking eyes out. 1000%. And that's what I'm saying. Those people that are putting their shit in social media, I'm pretty sure they were off duty. They weren't in the thick of it. Cool. Process your shit however you need to process it. If that's through social media, fine. But when we're in it, you better have my fucking back.
They're in uniform.
Well, like I said, I was in formation, right? The first time we were still in Kuwait, my commander telling me that we were gonna die, fucking freaked me out. Then we got back.
I'm talking about the social media point of when they're fucking acting like bitches, or they're just making a mockery of the military.
Well, I think they're doing it also for attention. How many people, not even in uniform, do shit for attention?
Trying to get them followers up.
And exactly. Hunt, to your point, I was scared shitless as well. We just know how to hide it well too. You know what I'm saying? And there's a time and place to break down. For your situation where I said about your husband getting jacked and shit like that, I'm not saying you ain't gonna cry about it. I'll probably go to the bathroom and be like, God damn, I almost fucking died. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how it was the first time we got blown up. I didn't have time to fucking process what was going down. It was just time to react, right? But when I was on my alone time, yeah, exactly. Dude, I almost took that little 5-year-old kid out. But that's another story. But anyways.
Like if it was actually like my actual husband and my actually me, that's not how it's going to be responded.
Again, it was a hypothetical.
Exactly.
If you had a pussy, but first of all, you wouldn't be married to a pussy like that, right?
Exactly.
Bam! But they exist. They exist.
15 seconds.
I got how many seconds?
We got about 10 now.
All right, hey y'all. Seriously, thank y'all for being here with Gunline. It ended abruptly earlier. Hunt had to go. As usual, we had great conversation here with a little bit of everything. We never stick to a topic. Monica, thank you for being here. I think that, you see that we start with one thought that we're going to have and it just goes all over the place.
Because there's never just one avenue to one thing. Never, ever.
And I really, really appreciate having you here. It just gives a different perspective, a different point of view. And I like that I don't have to censor myself, or feel like I have to walk on eggshells, or I like the fact that we can be ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the whole thing about acceptance and evolution. You accept people for who they are.
I'm not a Pokemon.
And again, it goes back to those traditions. Like I'm a traditional mom. I gotta go put my kid to bed right now. But if I was an actual traditionalist, I wouldn't even be doing this podcast right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
you're right.
There's so many different avenues to so many different things, and it's just can't. It's not straight and narrow. It's not. It can't be anymore. It's just not.
I dig it. Wise words. So everybody, I hope y'all enjoyed episode 201. Better than episode 200, which was a shit show. So again, if y'all listen to that, I appreciate it. I hope we made up for it with this one. And we'll see if there's a shoot the shit for Friday. I'm not sure yet. So with that being said, thank you, Monica.
Thank you, Pat.
Appreciate you being here. What? What'd you say?
No, I said bye, hon. Thanks for being here earlier.
We'll catch you on the rebound, Hunt. Rounds complete and a mission. Gunline out. Bye, motherfuckers.